Hi guys. No, let me see. I was trying to see if I could get a little bit more light, but maybe that'll do it. Um, I didn't want to go live. I just wanted to record this, and a lot has been happening since January the 24th. Jeff and I had friends that we could depend on, and it's a long story. The wife got cancer about 3, 4 years ago. Then she was cancer free, and then it come back. Then she had to be treated again, and it went away. And then the day that she finished her chemo for her second treatment, then her husband was diagnosed with cancer. So she was healing with that, with her own going back and forth, and doing all the treatments, all the chemo, whatever she had to do, and then she had to be strong and go through it with her husband. And so there was a couple close calls with her husband. Um, like I said, you have that relationship with someone that you might not see them for a year or two because of your life. We partied together when I was a center. Jeff was a center. We went to Maine together. Every weekend we were pretty much at their house. The guys would be in the garage, and we, whoever come over was the women. Mainly it was just me and her. We'd be in the house drinking our wine coolers or whatever, just having a good old time. I remember one time my brother, someone had made dandelion wine, and he brought it up here and gave it to me, and he's like, I don't want anything to do with it. So it was New Year's Eve, and we were going to go out to Kathy and Becky's house. So I thought, well, I'll just take the bottle of wine, because dandelion wine, I'd never had it. And me and her sat there and drank that bottle of wine, and it was just a normal size bottle. And I tell you, got drunk as a monkey. And I was out there today talking to her. Her husband had his treatment and finished his treatment, and then he had trouble where he couldn't breathe, because I think his cancer was kind of like wherever your esophagus is or something like that, and he had to go to UVA because his oxygen was down so low. If he would move, his oxygen would go down so low, and he had to be at the hospital until he got his oxygen back up, and then he come home, and then I don't know. I think they found, in the meantime, when he was in the hospital going through his treatment, Kathy's cancer came back. So this is the third time for her. And of course, she's taking care of him, and taking him for his treatments, and then they started new treatments on her. And the story is, it's a story, and it's a real story. And I had told people on Facebook that February the 1st was Jeff and my anniversary. I think would have been 46 years. And And Kathy and I were talking, um, there was a group of us. Um, Another lady down the road, it was like whenever we would have a carnival. And this, I mean, I'm talking about a country carnival. I mean, there wouldn't be any room. I mean, you was lucky if you could bump into anybody. And one year I was at my grandmother's stand, and I had asked my uncle if he would take me to the carnival because I knew Jeff would be there and I wanted to see him. This was before we were married. And so he did. And then the other couple who they hadn't gotten married yet, they lived across the road from Jeff. And then, of course, there was Bucky and Kathy. They were young also, and she said that Shelby lost her husband, I don't know how many years ago, but they were high school sweethearts. I think 17 and 19 years old, they got married. And then Kathy and Bucky, were high school. I mean, they got married young, just like Jeff and I did. They, and stayed together. She said today, nobody thought they'd make it 4 weeks. And of course, that's what everybody said about everybody. Oh, they're not going to make it. They're young kids, and we were kids raising kids. And, but we made it. We made it. And I'm really sorry about the lighting, but this is not a sad story. It's not a sad story. It's not a cry story, but I hope it's a story that can help you if you're going through grief. And the thing was, okay, so I had heard that Bucky wasn't doing well, and I decided, I don't know, let's see, probably I'd say the 9th, it was on a Saturday of January, I would go out there. And she met me outside and had told me, that the nurses was coming. And I just hugged her and we talked. And, I prayed for her. And she's like, girl, you just don't know how much I needed that, So I come on home, didn't go in to see Bucky or anything. And so let's see. Not last Sunday, but the Sunday before last was the 24th. And I texted her and asked her, I said, I'd like to come out and see y'all if that's okay. And I was going to I had asked a pastor that I had been visiting his church, which he knew them, if he wouldn't mind riding, or meet me out there. And he did, he said he was going home and he'd supper, then he'd talk to me. And so I went on out, and talked to Bucky, and his 2 children were there with him. And I really didn't think, I mean, he talked and everything, and come to find out that they've been there 4 weeks. He passed away. Bucky passed away, and he passed away on Jeff and my anniversary at like 8 o'clock at night. And I had called her that day. Well, I'd never call her because, I just text her. And I said, I'd like to come out to see you today. She's like, sure, honey, come on out, So I had to run to town, do a few things. And it got to be 6 o'clock at night, and it was dark. So I texted her, and I said, Kathy, I'm not gonna come out. It's getting late, and I thought, maybe they'd be putting him in bed and everything. And I just, I said, I'll see you tomorrow. So, what I did on my anniversary, why I did it, I don't know. But in the room that I show my jewelry or where I had put the jewelry at, I had hung up all of Jeff's hunting clothes. And I'm just saying, this man, he has some clothes. So I thought, well, they got in my way because every time I'd walk in, they'd bump me, and or I had like this white sheet tied beside them so that they wouldn't, show when I was showing my jewelry and stuff. And I just thought, well, you know what? I'm going to put them in my closet. And then come hunting season, then the boys can decide, what they want, what they don't want. And a couple weeks ago, I brought the boys down here, and I don't know. Oh, there was a few things, like when he was a young boy, like 8 years old, he had went to see a ball game, and he had souvenirs like two of those little bats, and so I give one to Chris and one to Jason, and I bought his hats out, and I said, okay, I want y'all to look at your dad's hats, and see if you want any of them, and of course, the grandchildren, they took them, a few of them, special ones that they had wanted, you know, and so January the 31st, I was in the laundry room and I was washing clothes, and Tammy McGee, my friend who's here with me, she said I was getting my clothes out of the laundry room, and she said, "Man, it's February the 1st already. Where's time gone?" And I don't know. So I come in here, and I was just getting ready to go to bed, and I sat on the side of the bed, and I'm like, February the 1st, and I'm like, today's my anniversary. And then, I wrote on Facebook, of course. We always do when we do things like that. And let's see, I have to go to my page. And, some of you may have seen it and some of you may not have seen it, but for the ones that didn't, things are still hard at times. But let me see. And then, of course, pictures pop up a year ago today, but it was a couple, I think it popped up February the 3rd. We had went out to eat, and I had put a red frame around it and put 2 pictures on it because that was our anniversary. And let's see, I had made 2 because I put a picture up. Well, heck, I must have put a couple. I said, happy anniversary, Jeff. I love you. See you soon. Well, of course, I thought it was 47 years today and still counting. And then later on, I put another picture up of Jeff and I said, and then here it says 46 years. So I'm almost up. But anyway, happy anniversary, Jeff. You are my best friend, the one I call on when I need someone, a good provider, the boss. What else can I say? Being together 46 years, I love you. This must have come up like from last year. And then Amanda, my daughter-in-law, had been out with her mom Tammy, who's my friend here, and Chase, and they bought me a beautiful uh, plant, and it was a garden dish, so I can, have the flowers out of it. So I said, well, our anniversary today went pretty good. And I spent most of the day switching Jeff's hunting clothes to our closet, which I haven't done that yet. What I did was, and I have his shirt, I have a shirt here. And I took every one of his clothes out of the closet. And I took and I made sure that I folded it. And I folded it neatly. And then, I laid it on the bed. And then the memories would come back, and, on the bed, and then I would touch it, and I would feel it. And I would think, well, this is one of the shirts that he wore often, and then I would fold it up like this neatly, and I placed them in a box, and I'm not going to get rid of them. I'm going to put them, right now, they're going to go underneath where the hunting clothes were. But, and then I'd smell them, In one of his pockets, there was a lighter. I found a lighter in one of his pockets. And then I would place them in a box. He had like summer shorts, t-shirts. I would, separate them so I would know what was what. Now, why I did this on my anniversary, I don't know. I guess it was healing. And I did it. And so, this is what I did. But I have not transferred the hunting clothes yet because I had an appointment and I had to leave, and then that's when I was going to go out that day to see Kathy and Bucky. So, and this is what I wrote on Facebook, and this is 2 days ago. It says, well, our anniversary today went pretty good. I spent most of the day switching Jeff's hunting clothes to our closet. I touched every t-shirt, dress shirt, dress pants, jeans, summer shorts. That man has some clothes, and nice ones. Each piece had a memory to me. I handled each piece with care as I folded them perfectly. Some were his favorite, some he wore a little, and some he didn't even wear at all. But each piece gave me sweet memories of where they came from. Thanks for listening. And then, of course, I said thanks to Jason, Amanda, Fretwell, Chase, Megan, for the beautiful flower garden they got me just because. And they are beautiful. And so anyway, so that's what I did. And then I went on my way. I went to Walmart, and I was going to decide. I was going to go to see Kathy. And I sent her a message at 6 p.m. And I said, hey, I said, it's getting late. I said, I'll think if it's okay, I'll just come tomorrow. And because I sent her a message and I said, today is Jeff and my anniversary, 47 years, girl. How many years for you and Bucky? And she said, wow, that is a lifetime forevermore. We will be married 41 years, August the 9th. And she said, he's resting still. We just need prayers for comfort for the kids as well as for him. So, let's see. I said, I will come at 4:10. That was 10 o'clock in the morning. At 4:10, I said, I will come out later if that's okay. I just need to hug you. And she said, okay, hon, I got to run to town and I'll call you when I get back. And I said, okay, I'm in town now, so don't be in a hurry. And she said, okay. So then I just said, just let me know when you get there. I'll be somewhere. Laugh out loud. So 6:07, I sent her a text and I said, it's getting late. I'll stop maybe tomorrow. And she said, okay, honey, I just got back home, so I'll catch up with you tomorrow. So Tuesday morning, she said, she sent me a text at 4:58 a.m. Are you sleeping? And of course I didn't get it. So at 7:12 a.m., February the 2nd, she said, honey, Bucky passed away last night. And I just said, Kathy, no, I'm so sorry. And I love you so much. I just wanted to go and tell Jeff, but he already knows. I said, they are together. I said, Bucky and Jeff, I can see them now, that big smile on Bucky's face. Jeff's showing him around. And I said, I'll be out later. I have to take Mama to the doctor. And she said, okay, honey, love you. And then I sent her a message and I said, Kathy, we will talk and have the biggest hug. And I knew they would be busy. I knew what she was going to have to go through. So that was Monday. Monday. He passed away at 8 p.m. And then Tuesday, I know they had to do and take care of a lot of stuff. So then tonight, I went out and I waited till about 7:30. It was 8 o'clock. My son said, Mom, you better get out there if you're going to go. And I said, nah. I said, not out there. I said, you know how it is with Kathy. I said, I could come out there at midnight and she wouldn't care, wouldn't let me in. And that's the kind of person they were. I mean, they were the loveliest, kindest person in the world. So I had some pictures. I had 3 pictures where we had went to Maine with Jeff and Bucky. And I took a copy of them and I sent them to her. And so when I went out to the house, wasn't no one there. There was the guys there with her son, and they were in the other room, and she was in the kitchen. And I'm just thankful that it was just her and I, because that's what I wanted, just her and I, just to sit and talk, you know, about the memories we've had with our husbands. And I was showing her the pictures, and she's like, man, she said, we've married some good-looking men, didn't we? And I said, yeah, we did. And, you know, and then it was like, so they have family night. It's going to be Thursday, which is now. And so everybody left, and her son, you know, and I said, I know I'm going to leave as soon as I drink his coffee, because, you know, I know she has got a big day tomorrow. And so Kathy will talk. I mean, she talks. She's got so many stories. And she talked. So I hadn't got up. I had gotten up because I didn't know what time it was. Because one time her son sent her a text and said, are you in bed? And I said, all right, I'm leaving. So then I went to the door, and it was like 11:05, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Well, her son was calling her, and it's like, okay, I'm leaving right now. I told him, I said, I'm leaving right now. I'm leaving right now. But I said, it's not me. It's her fault for talking so much. But that's it's just another one. That God has called home. That this is so close to the family. And it's funny, she told me that he was out a couple weeks ago and he wanted to ride down our road. And she said, now go slow. He said, go slow now. I want to see how they're getting along with Jason's house in the back. And so she did. And she said, yeah, I think it's a good place back there, because we were young. I mean, we were young. And our kids, were there, and with her, they grew up together. And anybody has a heart of gold, it's Kathy. And she got saved. She started going to church, and then Bucky, he gave his heart to the Lord. But for 4 weeks, they were at the house 24 hours a day, her and her son and daughter, and then sometimes another guy would come to help, just to be with him and to take care of him. And I just kept praying, God, just don't let him suffer. Don't let him suffer long, because him and Jeff were exactly alike. I mean, exactly. They thought alike. They talked alike. Jeff told me, don't ever put me on a machine to keep me alive. And it snowed, and I had texted her, and I said, oh man, it's snowing, Bucky's probably thinking about being out there pushing snow, and she's like, well, no. She told me tonight he was thankful that he didn't have to go out there and push snow, because it's just so many memories. Him and Jeff. I mean, they'd have it was like, and of course we were sinners, but now we're saved by grace, and she sat out there tonight and was talking about things she does. I mean, she would give you the shirt off her back. She was telling me she's got dollars up above her thing, and in her car, and where we live, we have panhandlers, and the police department put up a sign: do not give people money, trying to get the people to move, because there are some people that need money, really, and then there's some people, I mean, that's how they make a living, and they get a lot of money. And she just said, I can't go by one unless I give them $1 if they look me in the eye. She said, now if they're just looking and looking around, she said, that's it. But if somebody looks me in the eye and catches my eye, she said, I'm going to give them that $1. And that's what I wanted to share. I still had a good anniversary, because it's another part of me going on. Although I think Sunday, this was Monday. Sunday, the 31st, we didn't go to church because it snowed. And of course I called my sister and was crying my eyes out because of things, Did I not do enough for Jeff? Did I not know that he was pushing himself too hard? was there something else I could have done, you know, and just bawling like a baby, you know. And she would say, Blandine, you know, God, it was God's will, you know, God did, you know, there's nothing you could have done. And Megan, you know, she comes in and she's like, Mama, why are you crying? I said, I'm just crying because of Papa, you know. And it started snowing. As soon as it started snowing, I started bawling because, you know, it was another part that he would be out pushing snow. And she said, it's going to be all right, Mama. And I said, I know it is, sweetie. I said, let me tell you something. I said, you're going to move out of here and you might walk in here a year, another 6 months or a year from now. And I said, Mama might be bawling because of Papa. I said, you know, I don't know. It just might hit me one day and one day it might not. I said, so everything's okay. I said, I'm doing all right. Because that child worries. Well, she don't worry. She's just so concerned about everyone in this family, not just me, everyone, her father, her mother, her other grandmother, her brother. She is the most concerning person, and I guess that's why she is studying to be a teacher, because she has so much love to give children that don't get it at home. So I'm going to close down. I didn't want to go live. I just wanted to tell the story. I said for my anniversary, I got to be able to go through my husband's clothes, and then my family gave me a plant, and I said, and what did my husband get? He got his friend, and he's in heaven, walking around showing him everything. So it's a good thing. And Kathy knows he's in heaven just like I do. And Kathy's like, you know, I don't understand. I just don't understand. People come in and they're crying. Oh, cry. Well, even the cancer, you know, why cry? She said, why are you crying? Why are you crying about this? You know, either way, I'm going to win. And they're like, what are you talking about? She's like, well, it goes away, it comes back. It goes away, it comes back. It goes away, it comes back. And if it don't go away, then what? I'm going to leave this world and I'm going to be in heaven. So, you know, don't cry over me having cancer. And, you know, her granddaughter spent the night. Well, she called me last night at 10 o'clock and talked to me. And then I went out tonight, and her granddaughter spent the night with her last night, and she's spending the night with her tonight. And please pray for her and their family. Her son especially is taking it very hard. He was close to his dad. He's got a daughter also, but you know, when you got a high-tech redneck, what else can I call them? Hunters. I mean, you know, he went hunting with his dad, you know, it's, they killed deer together, you know, it's like, you know, there's a bond, there's a closeness, and he really, just pray that God will give them peace, the whole family. And I had to share this as another part of a day in my family, in my life. And this has been probably 2 weeks, because, you know, I went and saw Bucky in January and talked to him. And, you know, he he was okay. And he was just waiting, for God to take him. And he did. And he answered our prayers. He did not let him suffer long. 4 weeks. The first week, second week. And Kathy said probably last week, he had a hard time breathing a little bit, but God took him home. And so they have another angel. And I told her, just like I told her, her house, they had a small house. He had the gift of, like Joseph, like Jesus' father, earthly father, of a carpenter. He built my porch on the front of my house. He could just touch wood. He had so many talents. He was a taxidermist. He took care of his family. That's the main thing. Working and taking care of his family. He made sure they had food on the table and clothes on their back. So, I'm not sad. When Kathy told me, my heart broke for her, just like it broke when my husband passed away, because I know what she's going to go through with. But, she's going to make it, just like anybody out there that has lost a husband or a wife. You will make it if you put your trust in God and let Him lead you. Now, her and I talked about this tonight, about people that are not saved, and their family. They may have a family member or something that dies, and the doctor's got to give them a sedative because, they just don't know if they're going to be able to make it or whatever. But, when you have peace with the Lord, knowing that whoever that person passes away is going to heaven, the Bible tells us to rejoice and celebrate. And that's what we're going to do. That's what and just, I stood out there at her house and I told her, I said, Bucky's still here. You cannot look anywhere and not see your husband. Same as here. I'll never be able to not see him, not be able to not feel him. Even though his body is gone, his memories are here, and the good memories we will live on. And that's what I encourage anyone to do. Live on the good memories, the good ones. So I'm going to close. I'm going to go to bed. I've got to get up in the morning. And I need to go get my hair trimmed. So this is another day in Blandine's life. So everybody have a blessed day, night, whatever. I pray that God will be with you. He will protect you. He will bless you. I pray that He will lead you in your life. That He will call you by name. In Jesus' name, amen.